over New Zealand for South Africa was in Dubai 2006. We're underway, and just this one game is 10 minutes each way. If 7 each way isn't grueling enough, it's a full 20 out here, and the first penalty with what looked to be a high tackle, was it? And it's New Zealand who get the early possession, and they look the complete act, but the world champions at 15 aside have their supporters here for sevens, and the big hoof downfield is secure enough for New Zealand to make it into the South African half, and that was the big boot of Zar Lawrence, normally out on the wing as a flyer. But it's whether or not, Dave, that this South African trio can cope with the force up front New Zealand have.
And I think part of the answer was the opening kickoff. They went deep. They didn't try to win it. They wanted to keep New Zealand as far away from the try line as possible.
Understandably. Here they come. New Zealand already on the miss move. This is the new man, big Victor Vito from Wellington. Now the big support player. And a tremendous tournament again for Stephen Yates. This is Rai Kambula to Victor Vito. The mismove in the centre to Tomasi Thama. He's got the captain, DJ Forbes, outside, but he twists and turns just as his father used to do in Fiji's national colours in sevens. And they lie over the top, and James Jones gives the penalty call. Slightly bemused Edwin Coker, but all over the ball with New Zealand. South Africa have their turn at the free kick and back into the New Zealand half.
You know, Nigel, if anything's going to play to South Africa over this 20-minute final, it's going to be mistakes by New Zealand causing penalties like that, an opportunity to slow down the game and move the ball again in towards the New Zealand side of the pitch.
What an enigmatic face that of Fabian Juris, the coach of South Africa. He's been longing for this opportunity as they spin it wide, and away they go now with MJ Ments. Big hits come in, big tackles. What else would you expect? The intensity is colossal, and coming in to the side of the ruck, it's South Africa who are penalised, and quickly away Stephen Yates to Tomasi Thama to DJ Forbes, and this is the big Edwin Coker. Edwin Coker with the big handoff. They've only got Zanquar in cover, and he's still going. That's gone forward. Brave defence. South Africa really backs to the wall. Men out there.
And just a moment ago, New Zealand defending, take the ball away at the tackle. Next thing you know, they're near the 22 at the other end of the field. So quick
and efficient. Watch this. There's Coker. Finally the error. South Africa.
And you saw from that photograph too, Nigel, no mystery about New Zealand's success. There's always a support player there. It's never without support.
How I'm going to deal with that unless you tolerate it. Get the feet back until the ball leaves come out. Please, both sides.
Touch. Laying down the law to these two front rows. It's more than just a quick restart. Here's Ghazal. He leaves it, in fact, for Nzwandili's stick. He's desperate to get away as Lawrence comes in with the tackle, picked up by DJ Forbes. He offloads brilliantly to Yates. South Africa being stretched already in these opening minutes, but they've got a penalty here as New Zealand are penalised.
Just a second.
Well, the whistle is now the response for South Africa. The last two tackles in which they took the ball, New Zealand ended up with it.
It's interesting because James Jones here is taking a very strong line. There was criticism, I have to say, in Wellington about his refereeing of the final and in Dubai. Here's the holding on, and there's a lot of gamesmanship involved, and he needed to get hold of it, and I think this is what he's doing with a lecture to the two captains.
If there's an equal conflict,
Neil Powell,
I'm not going to say a word.
and DJ Forbes.
Now let's cool the discipline down and not give penalties away, or we're going to have a 7-on-6. Even.
And
it'll be the next.
The referee making it very clear. We'll have 7-on-6 if you like.
Yep. So words from the captains to their respective teams. Certainly South Africa in a huddle. New Zealand trying to pass it. I don't think it reached the people on the wide outside from DJ Forbes, but there we go. Well, it's a strong warning.
Everybody who follows sports knows that all streaks come to a close, and I'm sure one of the themes in the South African huddles prior to this match was they've won 35 straight. Why don't we be the ones to end it?
Yep, absolutely. There's no more incentive required than that. And South Africa have longed for it. The tension in the camp, the excitement, the build-up to this one. and how badly they need it. Dalzell is the man who might make it happen. Oh, what hands from Mentz. MJ Mentz, Martinez Johannes Mentz, who has been one of the finds by Paul True of this season. Here's Dalzell. No Fabian Juris, I hasten to add, probably their key attacking runner. A big loss and big turnover here. This is where New Zealand are strong. Laid back by Lawrence, helped by Vito, but stolen or illegally stolen. And they take it quickly. Rai Kambula, they do things at pace. They're inside the Springbok 22. Yates, the direct route. Even he's a handful. Rai Kambula looks at the blind, goes to the open. Tomasi Thama almost losing his feet. Rai Kambula again. More than a handful this time. Finally held up 5 meters out. Right in front of the Springbok post. This is Lawrence. Lawrence goes. Still goes. Offloads. And Edwin Coker gets the first score. Eventually the pressure told.
Well, credit the South African play for holding New Zealand out of the try zone for 5 minutes in this match. But on the flip side of it, Nigel, it's just too much to ask these athletes 5 matches into the weekend to tackle so high and expect good results. And when we see this replay, watch the high hits.
Into this ruck.
May have had it for a little bit longer.
Well, I think he's fortunate, maybe.
But here you look at a series of high hits there. It's just impossible
You're right.
to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 27-year-old from Auckland has opened the account for New Zealand. And that, believe it or not, was his first try of this tournament. But my word, what good work he has done alongside Yates and DJ Forbes. The gauntlet thrown down. Dalzell. Oh, that was high from Coker. But maybe he slipped it from where it appeared to be around the neck and slipped down. From Zankwa, Dalzell, and J. Mentz. Always away. Now he is quick. He needs support though, and he's given it straight to Yates. Big upend there. Now, is that going to be adjudged a spear tackle?
Time off, please. Coming here.
Uh-oh.
Rasta.
As soon as the referee goes to the pocket, you know bad things are going to happen.
Oh, my goodness me. He's down for 6.
Taking him past the horizontal. You haven't followed through. That's why it's going to be a yellow card only. Okay?
They call that a spear tackle. And Frankie Horn is off for 2 minutes. Well, intention or not, yeah, you see, you cannot do that. It is the most dangerous element in the game, and the referees have been told it must be stamped out. Intentional or not, it is how it appeared. Frankie Horn sits out 2 minutes. This is a golden opportunity for New Zealand to set out their stall and run in a couple of tries. 7 against 6, my goodness, batting at 7 against 7.
You know, the photograph too also explained to us that the injuries in rugby really aren't man-to-man contact, it's man-to-earth, and that's why that is such a sacred rule now.
Oh, away is Vito. Victor Vito yet again. That's his 8th of this tournament. The man who's come from nowhere to be a sparkling hero in New Zealand colours in the 7s, the 20-year-old from Wellington, and immediately they take advantage of South Africa minus a man.
And again, nothing special other than get it to the open man, a big open man with great wheels. And you talk about continuity in this New Zealand program, he's a newbie.
Yeah, absolutely that. Where do they come from? There's some kind of assembly line down there. And this man Vito, he's a flanker by trade, but he's made into a brilliant wing here and has pace to go with that physique. But your observation, absolutely spot on about its contact with the ground, and those are dangerous tackles. It's going to cost South Africa dear. It's already cost them a try. 12-0 New Zealand.
South Africa really needs to slow this down, and I'll tell you why. They had a real semifinal match this afternoon. New Zealand did not.
Yeah.
New Zealand walked all over Kenya, and the fatigue factor in the second half of this match is going to make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely right. Yeah, with Samoa, a real test for South Africa, right to the wire that went, and Kenya completely outclassed at that level. DJ Forbes. South Africa just cannot get away, and Forbes 2 handoffs and the try.
And I believe that's Steve's second of the match now. 4th in San Diego, and watch out. There's a little crack in this dam.
The man advantage as if they needed it. Vito with the little floated pass overhead. Good vision from him.
And it's all exploiting matchups again. All they need, New Zealand knows they just need a one-on-one somewhere outside and go ahead and try to tackle us. And they've been doing it all weekend. As a matter of fact, they've been doing it all season long.
Really from the
Nigel, in all of your experiences with sevens, which has been one of the loves of your life, have you ever seen a performance like this through 3 competitions and now possibly a 4th in a row?
It's never, it's happened before, but it was in the very, very early days. And 2001 with Rush and Amasio Balance, Tinana, and they got 4 in a row. 5 in a row in one season has yet to be achieved, but they won 2 at the back end of last season. They've just rolled on and they've kept the squad, and that is a huge plus, a huge advantage which they have over everybody else competing at the moment. They also have the talent.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think what New Zealand is going to do, it's going to really make everybody ante up to play Major League Sevens, or they're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, they are in a class of their own at the moment as things stand, and it's not been like this in my experience in the last 50 tournaments. And now they're 17-0 up and they are on a high, and here's Mbiozo. Shame they lost Fabian Juris. He of the balance, brilliant running skills, just took a little knock in the warm-up, carried over from the semi-final.
Well, if they could somehow put something on the scoreboard
They might hear with Marius Skuman. He takes a stopping, but the tackling coming in. Remember, they're still with 6. The referee says the ball did not go forwards, and they end up with the try right on the stroke of half-time to keep something alive there with Mzwandini stick. How desperately they needed that. It keeps a little chink in the door, we might say. And Mzwandini stick, who has been one of the great pluses, his return to sevens recalled for this tournament. How desperately needed was this?
Good fortune, the ball knocked forward in the tackle, and credit South Africa, particularly Stick, for being at the right place at the right time in support. And you're right, that try at the end of this half, how many times we've seen that shifts everything. Just imagine the difference in the huddles right now because of that try.
Yes.